My next one is the N64, and I was really thinking about putting this one closer to the bottom, but the more I thought about it, even with its stupid controller, the games were revolutionary, because like you said, you weren't there to really experience the 3D Switch, and I was really starting to get into games during that time where stuff was back when right after we had the 16-bit wars, it turned to 3D, and that really killed all the weaklings.
Yeah.
And like I think of the classics on the N64 and Mario turning 3D, Star Fox going into all range mode, Smash Bros, Mario Party, the multiplayer experiences, and I think the biggest example of that, of course, is Mario Kart 64. The multiplayer experiences on N64 and GoldenEye, I mean, I can just keep going on about the multiplayer experiences, just bringing that to the next level. And I don't think
4 controller slots was big.
I really don't think that we have ever gotten past the N64 on really delivering the multiplayer experience that the N64 did.
Okay.
So that's why I put it as high as I did.
My next one is the 3DS. I do like the 3D a lot, especially when you play it on the new 3DS, because it tracks your eyeballs and projects the 3D to you better, no matter if you're wiggling a little bit, if you're moving, if you're off center. So you don't have to deal with those sweet spot stresses. So when I talk fondly of the 3DS, I'm thinking about my new 3DS XL. It's got circle pad and the little analog nub, which is cool, where you've got dual analog on handheld. And it just took everything I liked about the DS family and expanded it. And I think the 3DS has one of the strongest libraries of any Nintendo platform.
Wow.
So
that's a big thing to say.
I mean, look at the sales. Smash Bros. Has sold twice as well on the 3DS than it did on Wii U. Mario Kart 7 has sold twice as well as Mario Kart 8.
Wow.
Super Mario 3D Land has sold twice as well as Super Mario 3D World. 3DS really made its way into gamers' hands, and it's a good experience. And I think it's evidenced by how long they've stuck with it. They haven't abandoned ship on the 3DS yet.
That is very true. My next console, getting into the top 3, is the Wii. And the Wii was really that thing that took it to the masses. And when we think about people getting together as families and playing, and I know I said that the N64 delivered the multiplayer experience, but the Wii really delivered the family experience. Everybody's playing Wii, and they're still playing Wii to this day. It's been out for almost 10 years, and grandma's playing, grandpa's playing, aunt and uncles, mom and dad, brothers and sisters, little baby brother is playing Wii because everybody's got it.
The moment it hit me was just like driving on a freeway, looking at a billboard, seeing an advertisement for an old folks home with a picture of a woman with a Wii remote, and it said like, "We have fun here," or something like that, you know?
That is, and that's the thing, is the Wii, the motion control is actually, it's okay. It's not great. We had a week full of Wii, and that was an eye-opening experience as to, you know, what the Wii motion actually was, whether it was great or not, mostly not. But it really was, I don't know, it was what it said it was going to be, and it was revolutionary.
Yeah. All right. My second favorite console is the Wii U. Now, I said it didn't have many games in the library, but I think that there are just enough for me to be content with that console for the rest of my life, and good games with pretty much unlimited replay value. I can play Smash 4 forever. I can play Splatoon forever. Not that I have, but it would be a game that's fun enough for me to be willing to go really deep into. Super Mario Maker, unlimited replay value, and it's HD, and that's where Nintendo console graphics really need to be.
Truth.
And, you know, I think it's pretty well-rounded console, pretty good representation of Nintendo's catalogs, and whatever first-party software they did put out was like 9s and 10s worthy on a rating scale, so they did a great job on the games for it.
My number 2 pick is the NES. This is the console that a lot of us grew up with playing. I actually didn't have an SNES growing up. I had the NES up until we got the Sega Saturn, which is like from when I was born in 92 to like 96 to 97. During that whole time, the SNES was out, and we just had the NES. And saying that those games were that good for past the 16-bit era is amazing. The first party support, like, and I think I'm realizing the pattern with my top 3 is that they were a big step up from what was there already. So during the NES time, we just had Atari. And then NES came out, we had 8-bit, and the third-party support was great. The first-party games were revolutionary, all of them. And it was just a big step up. And so it still holds up today. I can go back and play NES games right now, probably even more so than most Wii games.
All right. Here's my number 1, guys. It's the Nintendo Wii. Let me explain why. Although the N64 is my first console, the Nintendo Wii was the first one that I ever bought brand new. I was 12 years old, and just at the age where I could make disposable income and stuff, I got really hyped leading up to the release of the Wii because they did an awesome job with the Revolution reveal trailer. We've talked about that it's overhyped.
Yes.
But
the Wii would like to play.
Right. So I got all my friends in on this. I got you excited about the Wii. I made you save up your own money to buy it so we could both get it on launch day.
Yes.
It was the most exciting launch experience Nintendo has ever had. It was sold out for months and months and months. I think
Years.
it was something like 34 months.
Yeah.
And what I love about the Wii is that we could get everyone to play it. I could get my parents to play it, my siblings to play it. I could play it with everybody. And I don't think this will ever happen again. Technology is continuing to advance. It's going to go into VR, and we'll get to the point where aunts and uncles, grandparents, they're not going to be putting on headsets. The Wii was just at the sweet spot of technological advancement that it looked friendly enough, but it still had an amazing advance that made everybody curious about it. Okay, our older family members aren't going to be curious about VR or projector contacts or whatever else is going to happen. This came at the perfect time. And yeah, what do you call that? It was like lightning struck something.
Yeah.
Lightning struck something.
It did. And it struck our faces and our hearts.
It had the most third-party support of any Nintendo console. It had the most first-party support of any console.
Yep.
Some fantastic games. Of course, you didn't have to wade through the shovelware.
That's also true.
But I have a bookcase shelf width full of good Wii games.
Yeah.
I've sold the bad ones, and I still have that many.
So I agree. The Wii was fantastic, and I definitely don't fault you for putting it as number 1. But I gotta say, my number 1 is definitely the Super Nintendo because of the library of games. Okay, think of a genre that was out when we had SNES.
Platformer.
Okay, Super Mario World.
Puzzle.
We had Tetris Attack. We had Kirby's Avalanche.
Beat 'em up.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Turtles in Time.
Fighting.
You had Super Street Fighter 2 Turbo. Any RPG.
Racing.
Okay, Super Mario Kart. F-Zero. Every single genre. If you pick out a genre and think of the best games of that genre, they're on the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
best
not
platformer.
only are they represented, they're well represented.
Yes, the best fighting game of all time, the best RPGs of all time.
Wow, Smash 4 was on SNES? Wow.
Okay, maybe not my favorite, but like if you look at
Yeah.
Street Fighter 2, it was great. Like every single game that came out, well, not every single game, but any genre that you can think of, the best game was on SNES. So I have to, or at least one of the runners, or one of the top runners is definitely on SNES, and I don't think you can really say that about any other of Nintendo's consoles. So I got to put Super Nintendo as the number one.
There are our lists. This is an
Yes.
exciting time. We're getting the NES again, which is very high up on both of our lists. It's high up on your list.
Yeah.
The Wii 10th anniversary is coming upon us quickly, so you can be sure we'll be celebrating that.
Yes, indeedy.
And then
With
we're
much
getting
fanfare.
an NX. The rumors are a swirl, so we'll be excited to see where this is going to land on the list when we know more about it and when we play it.
And yeah.
So, thanks for watching, and thanks for being a part of the crew.
Don't forget to leave us a comment about where you think that these consoles should land on a best to worst list. And yeah, just comment your comments.
Thanks for doing that, guys. We'll see you next time.
Signing out.